Today's episode is sponsored by Raul Rodriguez Law.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to this episode of the Leija Lounge. I don't know why it's taken us so long, but we finally have our most important guests, our number one subscribers, our first followers, our wives, the Leija ladies, Celeste, Anya, my wife, and our mother, Lisa Leija. Welcome to the podcast, guys. We have a podcast. I don't know if y'all knew that. We have a podcast and we've been doing it for a while.
This had no idea. To me.
Have y'all heard about this, or have y'all seen anything from
It's
any
called
of
the
our
Leija
podcasts?
Lounge.
It's called the Leija Lounge. This is where we do it, you know.
I just share.
Yeah, you just share?
I just share.
Yeah.
No, I do listen to it.
What
I'm
have y'all
really proud of
what have y'all seen, you know, what have y'all what y'all's feeling to us doing this? This is kind of new, you know, you don't hear us talk a whole lot, but we do here, right? So, you know, have y'all seen any changes? Have y'all seen, like, what do y'all feel about us having a show like this?
I love it. I mean, I feel like it's been a long time coming because you had it started with a small podcast years ago with a friend of ours, Gino, and it was great. It was good seeing you because you like to talk.
I do like to talk.
Yeah.
If y'all haven't noticed.
And so, but being able to do it with your brother and your dad, I feel like is perfect because that's who you are. That's our family.
Sometimes I feel like I have to strong arm them a little bit and, you know, nudge them in a direction or whatever. But, you know, overall, we tend to get along pretty well.
These are conversations we already have anyways. It's just a camera now.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think we've been able to get together quite a bit, but we've had so much going on, right? There's so many things happening with us having a kid to, you know, y'all doing y'all's thing and enjoying kind of like, what would I say, empty nesting or just living life?
Being grandparents.
Being grandparents, right?
Being grandparents too, yeah.
Those are new experiences together, right? And like another chapter in life. And then y'all, like, I would say y'all are the newer ones, right? Like, y'all have been married for a while, but y'all are, you know, I guess the experience isn't at like this or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like ours isn't even there.
Yeah.
Y'all are living the life. No kids.
I think that's so cool. Is like you can see like the different like levels of like our family, right? And there's only 6 of us, but it's so diverse, right? Like we said in the last podcast, like we don't hold like a big number of members, but we do pack a punch, right? Like we're doing a lot. This alone, like we're just doing a lot.
How old were y'all when y'all had Vinay?
We had her when we were 28.
Yeah, we got married when 27.
We got married 27. We were pregnant 3 weeks later.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah.
And then we had her at 28. And
Well, 3 weeks, but James was taking his time.
he was,
Yeah.
he was already giving me a taste for a long time. I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
We're 29 and we're like, I feel like we're at the very I don't want to say tail end of doing whatever we want to do,
Yeah.
but we feel that the next step's very close.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think we're just trying to do whatever we can now to enjoy it.
I'm
Yeah.
excited
Enjoy
for
the
y'all.
freedom.
Yeah, you know, I'm excited for you guys but y'all guys are busy, and now we know y'all busy. You're very busy.
Which we're gonna get to in a little bit.
Yeah, but that's, you know, and I'm sure there's pressure from family and
Yeah.
friends, because a lot of your friends have had kids, and,
Yeah.
and I could see the pressure, and it's probably heavy or like but you got to be happy and do your
Yeah.
thing.
And I think that's what we get a lot. Like, I feel like obviously people are excited. Y'all are excited. My parents, you know, y'all just had a baby. So everyone's kind of looking at us like, all right, come on, you know. But I also think that it's a good balance of like, you know, we've done what we want. We have our house. We feel settled. And then, you know, we're slowly getting ready to transition into this next phase. And I think we feel good about it and excited about it. But also knowing that, like, all of those like excitements and words of excitement come with like, you know what, but like you guys are doing great, like take your time, enjoy yourselves, because once you have a child, everything changes in the best way, but still everything does change.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And I think the stress of it doesn't help, like trying to have a kid too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're just trying to
right.
keep it. I mean,
Try to keep it
not even
lighthearted and
think
fun.
about it. And
Yeah. Well, that's what we were talking about yesterday. Like, we saw someone on Bravo talk about, like, in the 70s, you know, they were just getting pregnant and they were chain smoking and whatever. And we're just like, it's so crazy how now, like,
Yeah.
we put so much pressure on ourselves to
Oh,
get
yeah.
pregnant and, like,
For sure.
oh my God, I have to count this many days after,
there's
you know,
apps
whatever.
and beeps in
Yeah.
your ears and
Oh,
Yeah,
crazy.
and we're
yeah.
like, you know, maybe the
Yeah.
secret is just, like, let it happen. Not,
Yeah.
like, don't track anything, just...
But you know what? I commend you because you've handled it with grace. Despite like having all your friends being pregnant at this, almost all of your friends being
Yeah.
pregnant at the same time, and then not letting that kind of pressure you into like getting pregnant. You know what I mean? Because I know that can be a lot. It's overwhelming. And yeah, you're right. Like a lot of people, I know I'm guilty of that. Where we were trying to get pregnant with Odette, I was like tracking it, and it was so stressful that I just got to a point where I was just like done.
And
Yeah,
that's
I was
what
like, I'm
happened.
exhausted. Bro.
Yeah, I'm like, let's just have fun doing this.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
as it should be. So,
Yeah, for sure. It should be fun.
So we'll see. Next podcast episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm ready
but-
for it.
Do
I'm
y'all-
excited
Do y'all
for
see
y'all.
things like that? Like, I guess, like when you were getting pregnant, it was just kind of like what, like not whatever, but you obviously cared. But it was a lot different than now, right? Like I would assume,
Yeah.
right?
Well, how old were you when James was born?
25.
Yeah.
Oh, 25.
I was 25.
We are married at what, 22?
You have to ask Daddy about all the. I forget everything. Like you would think it would be him because I always say he took all the punches, but he.
I didn't take that many. That's offensive.
No, he remembers dates, everything. I tend to forget, but yeah, I was.
What'd you have for
25.
breakfast this morning? That's
He hasn't eaten anything.
What did I have for breakfast?
So we got married at 22. She said she wants to have a baby at 25. She got
Like
pregnant.
I
at
didn't
20
care. I didn't
She
care
said
if
she wanted
Daddy
to have a baby at
was
20.
like.
She had a schedule. Like I want to have a baby at 25.
Yeah,
After we get
Yeah.
married at 22, and we did all of that, and then
and we had no business.
so then we
really
know the story.
getting pregnant
We
at
talked
25.
about the story
We had
about
nothing.
when Dean was born.
On the last episode.
It was the last episode was that how I was busy and at the point of my career taking that next step, and I wasn't home a lot. I was out in Florida, Virginia Beach, Houston for training camps, and Mom was at home alone. And we were talking about, are we gonna have a kid again? Are we gonna have? And I was like, wow. And then I didn't know
That's
because
stress right there.
You
What?
said
It's
no
like-
way, and then a week later.
no, what happened was
Surprise!
it was because I was gone so much, and I didn't want Mom to be at home with two kids, and me not being home that much. And that's what. Remember we talked about when you walked in to get tested. We said if you're pregnant, great.
Yeah.
If you're not, we'll wait a little bit.
Yeah,
She came back and she was pregnant.
I was so happy. I wanted.
It was
to be
great.
pregnant.
It was perfect timing. Like we talked last week. There's no right time to do it. You just do it and you
work
adjust to
through
it.
it,
You
yeah.
adjust your life to it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, like I felt like we didn't have things set for Vinay that
Yeah, it was only
Oh.
it was only 'cause it was 3 weeks in.
Oh gosh, I know. I mean, we were apart. I mean, doing long distance for 2.5 years. So getting pregnant right after being married, I mean, we had to play catch up because, I mean, mind you, I was pregnant for 9 months, but I was in school doing clinical rotations. And it was just very different that first year of marriage. You know what I mean? It wasn't like necessarily how y'all's was, where you guys got to like travel and you know what I mean.
Take our time.
Yeah,
We
for
kind of
sure.
did it backwards.
By the time you settled, it was already a family.
Yeah. And so I think that's why it took us such a long time to have a second baby because we
kind of circled back.
Yeah, like the way that you guys did, you know, your relationship, your engagement, then got married, you guys got to do all of that together in the beginning, right? Well, we had to kind of go backwards and then do that
Yeah.
already being married. And so it was a little bit challenging.
Like,
We
who
had
are
to
you?
work through a lot.
Was your
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but we had to work through a lot and I mean, I'm grateful for it. I won't regret any of it because it did make us, you know, a better couple and better parents and better individually as people. But yeah, it was way more challenging the way that we did it. But I mean, it's true to our nature. We're just like that. We're impulsive people sometimes.
I think the Leijas in general are. I think we're what would you say? We're like we're getting the first flight out, but we're gonna be like,
But there's
forgetting
no
everything.
plan.
There's no plan.
None
ever.
whatsoever. We're always
We just gotta
like,
wake up and pack.
come
It's
on,
the most
let's
stressful.
go. Let's
the most
go.
stressful time is
It's-
traveling,
yeah.
going to the
Poor D.
airport.
All of us together.
Well, I think the first time
I'm not that impulsive. I'm very like
yeah,
I'm
I
the
think
planner.
I'm the
Structured.
impulsive, and then he's the
For
planner.
sure.
yeah.
For
But
sure.
talking about vacation, the first time I went on vacation with y'all, like he
Oh
was
my God,
So
that was so,
stressed
like-
out.
But we get to the airport to Mexico, and then trying to park the car. We get there, we're like, okay, we'll check in.
And this is at
Passports.
6 in the morning, right?
Yeah, but then the
But not only
passport,
that
that,
was
don't
the
but not
have
only
best.
that,
Don't
how
have
long had y'all
passports.
been dating before that trip happened?
maybe a month.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was quick.
That
And I
must
think,
have been
like-
like really crazy for her because
For sure, that's when
Yeah.
we got
Seems
to know
like
each
But
other.
Send me your
I went
passport
on a trip.
You went
with
on a
them
cruise,
first.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe like
That
2
was what, a
months, but
weekend?
Still.
Just kidding.
I think when you asked me, it was probably like 2 weeks.
Hey,
and
see,
you're
that's a little
so
impulsive.
Yeah.
That's
Mexico?
impulsive.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
but it's like, but
You
it
didn't know
wasn't.
anything
there
about
was-
it. You didn't know anything
I
about
already
this guy.
knew.
Yeah.
I already. I mean, I knew already.
But-
It wasn't. I was just gonna jump in and not know like the
Yeah.
future. You know, I knew.
Yeah.
so like on our first trip with Celeste. So who forgot the passport?
Nobody. You
What was
thought
it?
he forgot it, and he went.
He ran to the car.
and you had it in your purse.
It was
I
the
did,
whole
right?
No, I ran
Oh,
to
I
the
had
car.
it. I mean, we
drove
actually
home.
had it.
Oh yeah, you did
Oh,
drive
you
home.
I went home. I went to the car,
Oh my
drove
God,
home,
yeah.
drove back, parked.
They're in
When
your
I got
backpack.
home,
was in my
I
backpack.
called you. I have it in my purse.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah.
It's
I had
not-
to drive
That's
back.
right.
Way
Yeah,
how way
yeah.
though.
And
That's
then
like-
This is what I'm
but-
getting into. With
But that's
this.
almost
I
every
know.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Every
is not
trip,
that
this
time.
is
true.
Every trip I have to
Every
rush
trip
back
I know
home.
we're gonna wake up early, first flight out,
And something's
and
gonna
this guy's
happen.
gonna feel something. Feel some
Oh,
type
I'm
of
always
way.
so stressed.
I know, poor Dean. Every time I see your face, you're like, "Come on, let's go."
I mean, I think
Because I
if
got
we
everything laid
didn't
out.
do
I
it
got
that way,
everything.
Home
I got
Depot
everything laid
song
out.
playing
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah.
that's just the way we do it. I mean, I don't know one that something didn't happen
Yeah.
or someone forgot something.
That's just how we do it.
And
though.
that was the thing. Like we were on time. You almost can plan, not
Yeah.
being planned. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just on time, scheduled.
If everything runs perfect, we're worried
even
about it.
even
Yeah.
our, even our right. Like even our mistakes are on schedule. Like we always make it the last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, think
Never-
about
we've
this.
never-
This is without kids. Imagine
Yeah.
how it's going to be
True.
with
Yeah.
kids.
Oh, I'm gonna be a
A
mess.
mess.
It's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Well, we're
It's
gonna sleep
crazy.
at the airport the night before.
I know
Definitely.
y'all are crazy.
We'll
I think
see
you
y'all.
guys usually like stay up all night, right? Every time we
Not
travel,
by choice, just
because
due
you
to
pack late.
Because it's the first flight out.
procrastinating
No, we stay up all
on
night.
packing.
Mom
we're
stays
always
up
the
all
first
night.
flight out. Yeah.
You stay up all night.
I
I
can't
try to get
do
an hour
that.
sleep.
Yeah.
She'll stay up all night.
I can't do that.
To leave at
That's
6.
so hard.
What was y'all? If y'all can remember, what's y'all as a couple? What's y'all's favorite vacation with us? Like we've taken some family vacations that are pretty cool, and y'all have
Yeah.
taken some good ones too by
Mhm.
yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, I guess both. What's y'all's favorite vacation by yourselves, and then one that we took as a family?
I don't know. We've had a lot by ourselves, but
What's one
I
that
think
pops up
when
in
we
your
went
mind?
to that last one we just went to with Nate and Grace.
We went to
Paris.
Italy.
Italy.
And
Yeah, we're in Paris, and
That was great.
that was beautiful. I mean, I kept thinking about you guys, of how much I would love it,
Mm.
and I want to be there with y'all when you
that should be
experience
one
it.
of our next trips going over there. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
But I enjoy any time I have with all of y'all. I really do.
Y'all must have really enjoyed it because that's like a feeling of, man, I'm having so much fun here. I need to share it with somebody.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. It
Yeah.
was, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well,
That
parents
was
too.
really
Parents
nice.
want to see their kids have
Definitely,
fun, and we just want you to enjoy things. That's how we are. Like I always tell you, so wherever we want to go, we go. But when the kids are with us, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about as a family trip? What was y'all's favorite? You remember? You have one?
Mm.
I mean, like I said, all of them. I enjoy all of them because something always happens at you know what I mean? Like we have a good time.
Like San Diego.
San Diego,
Well,
yeah.
San Diego
That was
was
pretty-
crazy.
Yeah, the first day in San Diego, right?
Was it the first night? We almost got
First-
Oh,
Oh, second
dude,
night.
that's a
Second
story,
night.
guys.
Yeah,
Man.
that
I know, I almost
guy.
forgot. I'm like,
Yeah.
we went to the beach.
I have
The
some
drunk
B-roll.
guy
I
banging
have some
on the
B-roll
door.
that we can share of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
we
was
did.
So
wild.
first night,
That's
it was the first
crazy.
night or second night? I think it was the
I think
second
it
It was
night.
the second night.
It was the second night. So the first night that we're in our Airbnb is a really nice Airbnb in San Diego. They had planned the trip,
The
basically.
location.
And it was great. Like it was a really fun trip. We did a lot. But the first night we stayed and it was almost like in a gated house. It was pretty cool. And I remember the front door was kind of unlocked. Like we were kind of loose with the front door because you had to actually manually lock it and whatever. Like our house, we just whatever. And the second night, I made sure to like kind of check that door. Not like I was the last one to check the door, but I was always kind of mindful of checking that door. Because we had Vinay with us. We had our daughter with us too. So we on the second night, I locked the door early in the evening or whatever, and we're all going to sleep. And all of a sudden, we have the master downstairs, and
You start hearing banging on the door.
well, first, like, we were dead asleep. It was like 3 a.m, somewhat, and I hear the house notification. The house has like a sensor, like, notification that
doorbell.
says someone at the front door.
Yeah.
And this is like 3 a.m, and I'm like, I kind of wake up and I'm like, oh, this is a dream, or I heard something, whatever, right? And I kind of lay back down, and they said it again, like, someone at the front door. And we're the only ones on the first floor, so I go to the front door. I kind of peek out the window, and there's a guy there, a massive guy. Like, he was a pretty big guy.
Big.
He was huge, and he was
just
about 10 feet tall.
He was very
Dude,
tall.
at least
Yeah, he was.
9 or 10 feet.
He was
tall.
about
He was
9
a
or 10 feet
stocky, tall, big built guy.
Round it up. 11.
Six 650
he was
must
big
have
guy,
been
yeah.
650 pounds.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
So I see him out the corner, and he's standing by the front door, and he's just like looking inside, and he's trying to pick at the door. And the first time I realized this something's off with this guy is when he got on his knees and started kind of trying to get the door with his
Like a cat.
like a cat, you know. And I'm like, this guy's gone. Like, this guy's on something or everything.
Yeah.
Well, then he starts banging on
He
the
starts
door.
banging on the door,
Yeah.
and I kind of froze in a moment. I was kind of like, this is happening, and this isn't even our city, right? Like, what do we do? Like, I don't know. This is Airbnb. This isn't even my house. How do I defend this house? I don't know.
Yeah.
So y'all are upstairs, and I think you woke up.
She
I
woke us up.
Yeah,
and
so
I went upstairs and
Anya
I
woke
your
up. She
dad.
comes to me, and I said, go wake up everybody upstairs, like, real quietly, because the guy's in the front. She runs upstairs. I hear my mom say, James, wake up, for my dad, right? And we come down. Everyone comes down. I grab a butcher's knife, because we're in the kitchen. Grab a butcher's knife, and I'm like, I'm about to do this, right? Like, I'm like, this is it, you know, like, I'm ready. And the guy's at the door. Me and my dad and I go to the front door. Anya starts calling 911, and my dad asks, "What do you want?" Right? And the guy,
What do you want?
What do you want? Like, the guy's like, "What do you want?" Right? And the guy, stone cold, looks him dead in the eye, and he goes, "I want to get in." And we're like, clear, right? And I was like, damn, this is about to happen. This is a huge guy. The door's wood. It's a wooden door. We're at San Diego. It's like we're on close to the beach, like whatever. And I'm thinking, this guy can nail this door down.
But he thought he was a cat.
He
so-
thought he was So it was
big
too
cat.
extreme. I don't know which one I'm
Yeah.
getting. Am I getting the cat or am I getting the guy? You know? So I just remember at that point thinking, like, there's just a rush that went through me, and I have this knife, and I'm about to stab this guy. Like, this is gonna be attached to my hand.
Because if he opens that door,
He's getting it.
something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Either
my
he's gonna
daughter's
attack us
in
or we're gonna attack him.
My daughter's.
We're
gonna
all
smell
ready.
it.
We're all ready. We're posted
Yeah.
up. I was in my.
Well,
my
that's what I was
chones.
afraid of.
No
Yeah.
shirt,
No
but
shirt.
Right.
I
we were
mean, I
ready.
didn't want anything to happen. That's why I was like, these cops better get here
I know.
quick.
So, but not only that, like,
Scary.
and in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, he's in the wrong house. Like, there's 3 of us in here. Like,
Yeah.
it ain't just one of us. There's 3 of us in here, and I'm ready, right?
And we all can fight a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we can all take
between all
a
3 of
limb
you,
on
yeah.
this
I can
guy.
scratch.
Yeah. I can be a
I
cat.
can scratch back.
I can be a bigger cat.
Yeah.
So, all of a sudden, like, the guy starts backing up a little bit, and I don't know who said it. He's about to ram the door because someone was looking at it from the window too, and I was like, "This is gonna happen, right?" Like, I remember us just kind of there.
Well, because the entire time he was banging on the door.
was banging
and
on the
he
door.
was like wanting to get in.
Yeah.
So we were going from the door to the window right next door. We're
Uh-huh.
looking out, and so it was kind of crazy.
That
but
was my fear. Was
Yeah.
that he was going to try to
I mean,
break
I
a
remember
window.
telling Celeste, call 911. Like, you know, we were all just kind of
Yeah.
trying to.
It was weird. It was like you're in an Airbnb in a different city, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
your house is
It's like
getting
the last
invaded.
thing you think.
Yeah, you're not gonna think it's gonna happen.
Sure enough, the cops got there very fast.
Cops got there quick, right? Like right when he was about to come, cops came. The guy drops to his his knees,
To try to
tries
hide.
tries to hide.
Yeah, that's the funny part.
He was
There's,
crouched in
there's
the
a,
corner.
there was
There's no
a
hiding you.
there was a thin pillar.
and he's literally behind the
pencil thin, and a big guy, 400, 500, 600 pounds. He just turned sideways.
Yeah.
And you
Try to
see his
hide.
eyes
If you
go.
see his belly stick out a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, his belly's out. His
Well,
crack.
his crack was
His crack
too.
was
Yeah,
out.
I think that was the comical
Crack
part of
heels.
it all.
Yeah.
is that it. I mean, it was just funny.
And he went.
despite it being scary.
Didn't fight the cops. They got him. He was out of it.
But he thought it was at the right place.
He thought he was at some party
He didn't
house.
want to
Yeah.
leave.
Party
Like
house.
I felt
Yeah.
kind of
He
bad,
was
but
super drunk.
Yeah.
He wasn't
belligerent.
wrong. It was just the wrong time.
Yeah,
And the wrong
and that's the
place.
whole thing.
Wrong
Like
time, yeah.
it was crazy.
the funny
that
thing
night.
was the people who were running the Airbnb, they notified me and they said, "Hey, we're seeing this. Like, we're here. Like, you know."
Jeez.
And I said, I was on the phone with them and I was saying, you know, I'm about to stab this guy.
In your
You know what I mean?
house.
I'm gonna do it.
Sorry.
I'm
In
gonna
your
do
house.
it.
I'm gonna do
Sorry.
it. And the guy goes, well, do what you gotta do. We're right here. Do what you gotta do. And I'm like, all right, like, this is
Okay.
happening. Sure enough, the cops came and it was
I think
really-
I was more afraid of that. I was more afraid of him coming in the house
Yeah.
and what you guys
See,
would
how
have
does that
done.
work though? At Airbnb, like especially in Texas,
Yeah.
we shoot first, ask questions second.
Yeah. Well, once they
But
get in,
California
No,
is
if
different.
they
well,
trespass,
the
you
law
have- it's
in
your
Texas,
right, I
once they
think.
get inside your door, you can shoot. But if they're outside the door, you cannot
What
shoot.
if he's scratching at the door?
Well,
If he's
No.
outside
I
your
think
door,
usually
you just drag him
trespassing
in.
you gotta
Drag
get
him
in.
in.
Your life
You
has to be
be in the
first.
Sure,
house. I
applies.
thought it was
It
just
has
on
to
the
be in the
property.
house. No,
It's
it
like
has
they
to be in
say
the house.
in Texas, we shoot, aim, and then ask questions.
Yeah. Shoot, aim.
Aim
That's
second.
good.
Just shoot.
But he was a big guy. He was 6 foot, 250 or so,
He
maybe
was-
more. He was a big boy.
I mean,
I hope I get some B. I have some B-roll. I took a video.
you have video? Oh,
Yeah, I
man, I
got
want to
some
see
video.
that.
Once you still knife in hand.
I still, yeah.
I
and
mean,
it took
see,
a little
that
bit.
was
I had to
scary.
tell him
No,
to put
that's
the
a
knife
person-
down.
You had it up here
You had
the
the
whole
knife?
time.
His head was
He
by the
didn't- he
window,
didn't
and he
put it
was like
down.
this.
He had the
I'm
knife in
like,
one hand and then the cinematic and 8 feet apart. He had the focus.
ready.
Yeah.
But it was one of those moments where me personally, like, it's scary as shit, but I still felt great in how I reacted. I was like, yeah, like I'm not gonna. I was ready.
Yeah.
You
You
know
got
what I mean?
that. You got
Your
that
dad
bone in your body.
instincts.
I got
Yeah.
that.
Well,
I
you
got
know
that
he's
extra one.
serious when his eyes turn like feral.
It's like a shark.
You know what I
He had
mean?
yellow eyes.
But that was that was an experience just off the last.
That was fun.
one, you know what I mean? Like that was really cool. I wouldn't say that was.
That probably wasn't the best trip,
You know,
but it was.
I
It was a.
It was memorable.
It was
trip.
memorable, but I think the trip that was the most fun was the one in Cabo, the most recent one when we went to Secrets.
That was
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we
that
had a
was fun.
Who did we
great
see?
time. When we went to
We stayed at
We stayed at
Secret.
the
Preferred.
Secrets
Oh,
Resort.
see, oh, right.
Oh, we
that
had
was
the
fun.
preferred.
Yeah,
Secrets,
that was,
yeah.
yeah.
I thought you
We
said see
keep
Chris.
remembering the
I saw- I
preferred.
said, who's
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah, that
we
was.
saw Chris Angel in
yeah.
Vegas. Remember that?
Oh,
Like,
that's
that was
Jeez Louise, man.
No, I think that one was the best
Yeah.
of Secrets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Secrets was fun.
Yeah.
We had a great time. The drinks
Yeah.
were flowing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
always a good time in Mexico.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think it was because we're like I said, we're doing a lot, and I think when we take like that kind of resort trip and we just chill and relax, it's all like we all feel good doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, especially the beach, and it's Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
So
feel
it
like
was
it's funny coming into this family like versus mine. Like it's very refreshing to be in this family and like do family vacations together and like have that time together because that's what we do. But my family vacations versus y'all's are like my dad's like it's 7 a.m. We're going to breakfast and then we
Jack
gotta
and
go
Coke
here.
in hand.
Yeah,
already.
Jack and Coke already.
He goes hard.
Third one. He's like, okay, we gotta go breakfast. We gotta go on the bus. We're getting on the catamaran. We're gonna do this. And so with y'all, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Mhm.
Like, oh no, they're sleeping. We're chilling.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's like very refreshing to like have no schedule, just chill.
Well, you know, I've
Mm.
always said that
Enjoy.
it's really hard. First, you know, y'all know, getting us all together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a schedule, so that's been really, really hard. I think for this one, we were waiting on Odette.
Yeah, we hadn't
So-
planned a trip. We still haven't planned a trip
Yeah.
for this year.
So yeah, we haven't done that this year, but for good reason. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's really hard getting everybody together. Now everybody's so busy,
Yeah.
but
Which
when we
we're-
do, it's fun. You know.
Yeah, which I guess leads us into the next segment of what you got going on, right? There's so many things that I feel like I can't keep up, right? There's so many things
Me
that y'all are
neither.
doing. You know, Dean's wearing a hoodie from one of your things.
shameless plug, shameless.
You know what I mean? Why not, right? Tell us about what you got going on. Like you got so much going on. Like you know,
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, photographer. That's what I always tell people. I'm like, that's my bread and butter. That's my real job. But been doing that full time for 6 years, and I don't think I'd be doing it full time if it wasn't for Dean. When we first started dating, I was a teacher and absolutely miserable. I love the kids, but teaching is a whole other animal.
Mm.
And he was like, quit, do photography. Like, you're good enough, do it. So I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. Because my parents were very like, you go to school, you get a full-time job, you get paid every 2 weeks, benefits, you know, that whole thing. So like coming into y'all's family where you work for yourselves was
It's
very
like, do whatever you
foreign
want.
to me.
You know?
Yeah, I was
What do
like,
you mean?
that's scary, you know. So yeah, I mean, photography all year long. But then this past year, I wanted to do an online clothing boutique. Kind of started with a closet sale on Instagram. Our closet is never empty enough and
Nope.
always messy. But that's what kind of like led me to start this or even think about it in the first place. I had a really good reaction of people wanting my clothes that I was getting rid of. So I was like, okay, well, they like what I don't want. What if I curate things and pick things that I feel like I genuinely love and like want to put out there. So asked a couple of my girlfriends. They were like, why haven't you done this sooner? So I kind of just like took that leap and started Dulce Amor. Started with a name, and obviously that's hard to think of, but we are obsessed with our fur baby, Deucey. So that was kind of like the thought behind the name. And then when we got married, Dean gave me a watch as a wedding day gift, and he engraved "To my sweet love, forever and always" in the inside. So that translates to Dulce Amor. And then when we built our house, our artist friend Cruz Ortiz was scribbling on the walls and wrote Dulce Amor on the framing of our house. So it just felt really perfect to name it that. So yeah, since August, it's been alive and well. Started with charms, a lot of pop-ups, online sales, and then in the make-ready market now. And then after a few months of that, I'm like, why not do something else?
Yeah, with all this time I got.
Yeah, I got more time on my hands. I got 30 minutes left.
Yeah, I can squeeze something in.
Yeah.
So we bought a little mini truck and decided to sell flowers out of it. So mini truck was sitting in our garage for quite a while until it got a facelift. It got a pink paint job, got the dents out, and then Florecitas was born. So it's been fun taking that around and doing flower arrangements and bouquets and everything in between that I didn't really expect to come out of it, but I'm just like accepting everything and enjoying everything that's coming to fruition from this little truck. So
hopefully in a year I become a full-time golfer.
Yeah.
I'll be on the course every day, hopefully.
Yeah.
With Kaiser.
Maybe one more business and I'll be
one
out
more,
there.
and then you can
Yeah.
Then you
relax. Yeah.
That's
You
funny.
got to pick it up, Celeste.
I know.
Pick it
I
up.
know. I got to do more for
Yeah,
my
that's
husband.
funny.
Yep.
And who would have thought like you'd have been so good at being an entrepreneur when you were not stuck in a teaching job, but kind of like, man, what can I,
Yeah.
And,
I remember the first on the trip you went with us to in Mexico. I remember, I think all of us kind of talking about this kind of like, I don't even remember, but I don't know, just doing your own thing.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
y'all having a
Yeah.
good conversation about just
We
going
talked
for it.
about you got to be doing something you're happy doing.
Yeah.
right.
Because if not, you'll never be happy.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
think with Anya having taken that little step, it was kind of like a good talk because like she's coming from that same world. When you were saying
for sure.
how different it is coming into our family, I didn't think of it until you said it, but I kind of relate. That kind of relates to her, like her story.
Oh,
Like
yeah, for
she's,
sure.
you know what I mean. That was a tough one.
Oh yeah. I mean, I spent almost 4 years in corporate America working for a home health agency. I mean, because I was raised like you. Like my parents said, you go to school, you finish, you get a job, get your benefits because you got to save for your retirement and X, Y, and Z. And so, I mean, that was like embedded in my brain. And so when we met, coming into the family, it was really challenging because they all worked for themselves and I didn't. And so I stayed in that. And he would tell me all the time, why are you doing that? Like, why?
I would say, why are you making somebody else money?
Right.
Yeah.
And
You
it
know?
was hard to get out of it. I remember we talked about this and I would say, it's just so scary for me because, I went from having this job that paid great, but I was extremely unhappy. And I think it was also right at in the peak of COVID, when I was working, and it was extremely scary as a healthcare provider, like being in that industry and then seeing everyone getting sick. It was extremely scary. And so I think that kind of triggered a lot of anxiety inside me. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So I just kind of started scaling back, and he was, in my ear, like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do it by yourself. I just didn't know how.
Yeah.
And so when I transitioned to working in a cash-based practice, once I left that job, I started to learn how to run my own business doing cash-based,
I think that
payments.
like the scary thing for anybody starting a business is where are my clients, right, or where are my customers going to be, right? I think that would be the hardest part.
Yeah.
But I was telling her with what you do is physical therapy. Like we have clients, like we have people at their gym that
For sure.
are always saying this hurts, that hurts, and you can fix them. Like
Yeah.
we break them, she fixes them.
Yeah.
And I think, like with my dad, he had a conversation with James, and he said, I don't know why she's so scared.
Yeah, like there's there's like potential there, right? But like I think even her dad was saying like, I don't know why she doesn't take this step, right? And I think that was kind of like coming from, it's one thing for the husband to say something, right? But I think it's another thing for like the dad to kind of be like, hey, like,
yeah. And I think that's when it kind of turned for me, because my dad has always been an entrepreneur, and I saw how hard it could be, but I also saw how much, you know, how fulfilled he was doing that. And so that was like the turning point. And I said, okay, to hell with it. I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And it's been good to me. But I think the good thing is that, like, I get to leave when I want to leave. And I think that was the hardest part, too, is that we would plan trips and I always had to be like, oh, I have to ask for time off, or I can't.
And I hated that. I'm like, you got to ask another man when you can go with me somewhere.
I know.
Like, I
know.
hated that, bro.
And I
That's
think
like,
I don't regret how I did things, but I think it just made me a lot stronger mentally and more confident in who I am and what I do. But I'm a lot happier, that's for sure.
Does this relate to the decision y'all made to not work after last podcast? Dad said he made what, 25 grand off the
that was
Troy Dorsey fight, and then that was enough for
Yeah.
you to be like, yeah, you know what I mean?
No, it wasn't enough for
I
her.
don't
It was
know.
me saying you don't have to work if you don't want
So
to.
it was a different motivation of you believed in that.
Yeah, I believed in him. I mean, I always have. You know, Daddy had a different drive. You know, even in high school, and he was always thinking ahead where I really wasn't. And so that when you fought Troy Dorsey, right? It was that fight. He's so excited, and he was getting a new contract and everything. And he's like, you know, you don't have to work. I'm like, okay. And I come from a generation of women that work. My grandmother was still working. My mother was still working. All the women were working. So at that time, being given the opportunity to stay home and raise your kids was unheard of, kind of. You know,
Was it kind of like frowned upon?
well, it was kind of looked at as, wow, y'all must have money because you get to stay home. But that wasn't the case. I come to find out
that was
later.
coming from you, like having to pay your car, the house
Yeah.
at like 15, right? Or something even younger than
Oh
that?
yeah. So we worked same jobs in high school, and we were paying. I mean, we were contributing all the time to, you know, bills and stuff like that. You know, but yeah. So I started staying home, and you know, I think what happened was I had a great job too. You know, I had a really good job. I worked at City Water Board, and but I found that, like, okay, if I'm going to stay home, I'm going to just go all the way with it. Like, I'm going to learn how to cook. I'm going to learn how to garden. I'm going to learn how to take care of my home, my kids. And I think I did pretty good. I look at you guys and I'm
That
like, I
became
did
your
pretty
job.
good. I wouldn't change anything.
When you're in an auto accident, you shouldn't be concerned with legal runarounds, just real advice. You deserve an attorney ready to work for you, an attorney that won't back down.
My parents are from the west side of San Antonio, and they taught me the value of hard work and fighting for what is right.
Raul B. Rodriguez and his team care about ensuring you and your family are represented, whether on the road or in the workplace. Raul is real, and Raul won't back down. Call 210-899-0300 to schedule a free consultation.
I don't know how he feels about it. I'm sure he agrees, but it's the same. It's hard for us to think of you anything other than a mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you did that
I've seen
really
you
well.
type though.
Oh yeah, see, I was
You're a
really
great
good at
typer.
that. Well, I was really good at my job. Like, I mean, they were sending back then. You know, they would send you to school, and so I didn't go to college or anything like that. But like, you know, your job would send you to school. So, but that was the only thing that got me in USAA. I remember getting a call from them, but I took the very, very first one I could take, and that was SAWS, and it was because of my typing skills, I think. So, yeah.
Quick.
I can still do it.
Yeah.
So like, it seems like there's a commonality on all three of y'all, where there's like a, you know, we
Yeah.
kind of altered our stars in a way. You know what I mean? Us having two daughters, and maybe they'll watch this when they're older or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What would you say? Like, I guess there's like the women's movement of like empowering women to go to work and do all this stuff, right? And you know, I guess it's more of, you can go to work, but you want to do it on your schedule. You want to be the boss. You don't want to be the employee. Right. And I think I've always said, for us and our family, we were trying to do so many things that we give people options. The best thing you can give your kids, which what we've received, is options. Right. It's not so much like financial support. It's more of like, well, here are the options to create your own thing, which is what this is and what we're doing. You know what I mean? What do y'all think about that? About like kind of like what y'all would tell the younger girls in our family, like about going through school, going through work,
Yeah.
and like I guess having to also focus on your mental health and like having you as priority one. You know?
So I feel like our perspective may be like a little bit different about college or things like that. While I'm not using my degree that I got, I am very grateful for my college experience and just to have that as a fallback if anything ever happened. And I mean, I work with college and high school grads almost every day, and I love to like ask them like, oh, what are you getting your degree in? What do you want to do? And you know, I get a lot of time like, oh, I'm doing this, but I don't really know if I want to do it. And I always tell them like, that's okay, like you're here, you're getting your degree, and like no one can take that away from you. Like whether you work for yourself, whether you got your degree in education but you're gonna work in marketing, like they're gonna look at you and want to pick you over someone sometimes that may not have a degree because you're teachable and you have that knowledge and things like that. So I don't know. I mean, I think that like going through that and having those experiences are great, but I just spoke at my old high school for like their Mother's Day luncheon, and I told the girls, I was just like, if you have any dream, any hobby, anything that you feel passionate about, like don't be afraid to pursue it. Like, you know, your school, your degree is always going to be there, but if you have something that you really like feel passionate about and want to do, like go for it. Like I never would have imagined being in the space that I am today or like having the jobs that I have today if I didn't just go for it, you know. So I think I would push our kids to explore, and like you said, like options, giving them options of like, okay, if you like this, let's try this, and just giving them all the tools in order to be their most successful selves.
Definitely.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot, you know, because we had different perspectives.
We've had different college experiences.
Yeah,
where,
for sure. Like, you know, he didn't have the best experience in college, but I did. Like, I loved.
I feel like that's the same.
Yeah, I
with us,
loved
too.
college. I had such a great time. I mean, I was a collegiate athlete. I had great friends, and I was doing all the things, right? But I think coming out of it and then realizing, oh man, like, I'm not happy working for somebody. I just realized, like, I just don't do well with having a boss. And I see how his experience was and how he doesn't use his degree. And although I'm glad that he has a fallback,
I will
right?
say, like,
But-
you know, I got my degree in psychology. I use it every day.
You use it
I think I
every
use it
Oh,
every,
yeah,
even on
for
this.
sure.
I use it.
But I
every
mean,
day,
like
but
you're not
you know,
practicing as like a psychologist or something. But I see that, you know, his experience was just different. And I think we talked about this, that we just want Vinay and Odette to do whatever makes them happy and to give them all the possible options, you know, kind of like how you said, like you could do anything. Pick something that you know is going to make you happy. And even if you try and you don't like it, there's always the next thing or the alternative, you know, and just giving them that support that, you know, will be there to, you know, guide you, to help you, and don't worry about it. Like there's no pressure, because I know what pressure, you know, what that feels like, because I received that pressure from my family, but I don't want that for our kids. And so I don't care if she goes to college or she doesn't, or either one of them, as long as they're happy doing what they're doing, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think the hard part
You know?
on our end was for me to kind of let her know, like, life isn't like school. Like, you could do everything right and not go up here, like not graduate to the next level. Like, life doesn't work like that. I've always said, I heard it somewhere, but I always said, school teaches you a lesson then gives you a test, where life tests you to teach you a lesson, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it works. It's not the way you think. You're not going to learn and then do it. You got to do it so you can learn. You know what I mean? Kind of like what you said. You got to jump in. You got to do, if you find a little inkling of something, you got to try it, because there's not a perfect time to do any of this. There's not a perfect time to have a kid. There's not a perfect time to do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's when you want, when you feel it, you do it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how life works. And you're going to learn along the way. Like you're learning now with all the stuff you're doing, how to juggle it, what's going to make each one better, that's totally different, diverse businesses. You know what I mean? So you're learning from a lot of different stuff. It's a lot of experience. There's no way you could have prepared for all of that beforehand. You know?
Or what I thought.
There's no course on that.
Yeah, that this is what I'm doing. It's a lot of trial and error right now. for
Yeah,
sure,
which is
but-
great. That you're gonna, like, that's so much learning how to do that. You know?
But you know what? We have to keep in mind, though, that there are a lot of parents still today that, you know, want their kids to go to college and are telling them, you know, kind of keeping it you got to go to college, you got to get a job, all that stuff, it's great.
Which is
it's
good,
still
yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
you know, but
I mean, there's a lot of
I feel
successful
that,
people.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
that's kind of been because maybe they did that, you know, whatever profession they chose, you know, that's what they're looking at in their homes. So we have to keep in mind that Daddy's was different.
That was the biggest
It was
wake up
very,
call
very
for I
different.
think for us for sure, but seeing what like success actually looked like, and it
Right.
looks different in every household.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
for us, I mean, we never saw an 8 to 5 job
Right.
ever growing up. So like we didn't. That was so foreign to us, and I think growing up we attributed success and fame kind of like together. Like,
Yeah.
well, you're not successful unless they know your name, or unless you know you're being recognized or whatever. That's what we thought success was, and it wasn't until I moved from St. Philip's in the south side to Mount Sacred Heart in the north side, where I'm going over to friends' houses, and really Antonian, when I went to Antonian, and my friend Brad, shout out B-Rad, and going over to his dad's house, and I'm like, man, like he's not famous, but he has, you know, crazy cars, a beautiful home, like that's, and you know, all of that doesn't always mean success, but you know, it's like you could still make it, you can still have nice things, have a good family, and like, you know, and no one needs to know who you are, but
Right.
you're keeping your family happy, you have a beautiful home, like that's success, you know.
Right.
So that really changed my mindset.
Yeah, because like for us, we grew up in like that mansion, right? And then we had seen all these houses, so it wasn't like we didn't see it. We just knew like
Well,
everyone knew your dad.
So now you know why,
You know what I mean?
like Daddy went to go speak at St. Philip of Jesus, which I thought that I love that school. I mean,
Yeah, that's like the best
At the
thing that ever
beginning, I thought, oh my God, no, right? Because it was in a neighborhood, and I just didn't know. Like I mean, even born and raised in the South Side, right? So, you know, Daddy's goal was always that it wasn't like the money. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, I just want my kids to go to a good school. That was the goal. And so, but that was kind of, Daddy came home. Let me just go back a little bit. Dad came home after speaking there, and he came home and said, I want James to go there. And I'm like, okay, where's it at? And we passed by there, and I thought, I'm not sure, but immediately we fell in love with the school. But I think that was so good because you guys were so grounded. Like, I needed to keep y'all grounded.
And that's
You
why I
know?
was saying in the last episode, like I personally feel like I grew up in a little bubble of community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was like, these are my family. Like when I went to school with, right? I mean, it was mixed race, but still, there's predominantly Mexican. We're in the
Right.
South Side, right? So it's
Right.
like, I just felt so at home there. I felt like it was
Right.
like that. So when I moved to the North Side finally to go to high school, I was uprooted. Like I was just like, y'all ain't looking out for me the way these guys were, or whatever, right? Totally different lifestyle. And I think him experiencing that early on was so great because he saw that early where I saw it later. And I was just like, wow, like this is not what I'm used to. You know what I mean? It was very different.
Well, because
I
you
always
guys
think
were seeing things, and you guys were introduced to things that,
Yeah.
you know, wasn't the norm, right? So Dad and I had to come up with something like, okay, what if Daddy doesn't fight anymore? What if he breaks an arm? What if, whatever, you know, we wanted to kind of keep y'all at a point where, you know, what if we couldn't keep it all up ourselves? So we had to keep y'all at a level where it was, you know, we didn't spoil y'all at all, right? I mean, y'all had, and I mean, I think you did. You spoiled them more than I did.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all had like every shoe, you know, that's a guy thing. But like, we kind of kept y'all grounded because, you know, it was something that we felt like boxing could be taken away.
Yeah.
And
And that's the thing where we're seeing too, like, I guess agreeing with you and all that. Like, there are parents that are telling their kid, go to college and do all that.
Yeah.
I think it's a risk either way. Like, it's a risk going to college and doing all this and investing so much money and getting out of it. You may not even want to do it at the end of it, right? But then there's a risk of going out on your own and maybe potentially and not working, or maybe you lose the drive or the passion for it.
You're right. Either way you go, whether you get a degree or you don't, or you work on your own, you still have to hustle.
You have to
You have
hustle
to make
no
it
matter
happen.
what. Mm-hmm.
Either way, you could just how many college degree people do we know that don't have jobs?
Yeah.
Or don't have the job that they went to the school for?
It's like when I went to her graduation, her doctorate, right? We were there and I saw all these people graduating with the same degree that she just worked so hard for. I was like, damn, there's this many jobs out there. This is just one school.
Yeah.
Like, is everyone here going to get a job? Like, they all just busted their ass. Like, I don't know if there's this many jobs for this. Maybe
but
they're,
they-
all, you know what I mean?
But you know, they don't tell you, like, once you get to that point, they don't tell you how hard it is to get a job as a new grad, as a new doctor, like in general. Like I've heard so many people, not just doctors, but people who get their bachelor's and they're like, I can't find a job. It's like so hard.
How many were in your graduating class?
When I got my doctorate, oh man, maybe like, I want to say like 80.
Yeah, those 80 people have to go and find that job.
Yeah, I'm like, and this is one
That's
school
tough.
though.
Yeah, it's
like
one
this
school.
is not across the nation. How many people are graduating with this degree? Like it's just insane. You know?
There might have been less. I don't know. I
Yep.
can't really remember, but give or take, it was less than 100.
It's a lot.
You know, and so yeah, it's just. I mean, they don't tell you how difficult that
But
can
and
be.
I know how angry you were about going to school, but you did really, really well.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
both of y'all
I think
did.
you're right. I think I was just like a hustler, so I
Yeah.
wanted to hustle.
Well, you know, here's what I have to give you so much credit. I mean, both of y'all, because y'all, I think parents need to really listen to their kids. As you know, I've always said if we don't evolve with them, we'll get left behind. And I feel like we did evolve. We were, you know, open-minded. And we trusted you guys, you know.
Even though we were old school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
because
trusted
Daddy
y'all.
still has a lot of that in him. You all know today he still has that in him too. But you know, we were evolving with y'all, and y'all taught us so much. You know, y'all, we still learn from all of you. You know, because you know we should. You know, we keep our morals and values and all that, but learning from you guys has been something that has really changed us, right?
Yeah.
A whole lot. And I think parents should do that even with their students now. Like they should really, really listen to them and not just be so like, well, it has to be this way because this is the way it's always been and this is the way you're going to get successful.
It's like my great grandfather did
Yeah.
it. My
And I just
father
think in
grandfather did it.
general-
My father did it. My uncles did it. You got to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Something maybe improve.
Yeah, you're already born with the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
And that's
yeah,
a
it's
lot of
tough
pressure for someone who's doing it for their parents or, you know, I think, I mean, a lot of them work out and, but sometimes it doesn't. And they're not happy and they're waking up every day doing something they really didn't want to do.
Yeah.
But I think because we're all so tight and we're so supportive of each other, like no matter what you do, we're going to support you. You know, it was same. All of us support each other no matter what. And I love how y'all support each other too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's the best having daughter-in-laws that love each other, that generally are there for each other.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
I mean, that makes me so happy. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than that.
I think I could see like just not knowing you as well as he does, obviously, but I can see like little hints of how we both found like pieces of our mom in y'all. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely like
I mean, I'm grateful that I have a great sister-in-law.
Yeah.
You know, I
Makes
mean,
life a whole lot easier.
Oh yeah, for sure.
we could not do this, right?
Yeah.
We could be here
Yeah.
and it would be like a Bravo reunion.
Oh my
Bring her
God.
out. Bring her out.
Bring out the sister-in-law.
That's funny.
It's
So to kind of end it all, like I just want to kind of get a little sneak peek into y'all's lives or whatever. Do y'all have any like what's y'all's show that y'all watch or what's like your guilty pleasure that y'all like, you know?
I am a big Bravo stan,
Same.
and by collateral, Dean has to then watch it.
I
So he
commend you
knows the
because he
drama?
won't do it.
Well,
He-
so okay, we lived in a tiny home together for almost 2 years, where we were just like joined at the hip because we literally did not have anywhere else to go. One TV. So
One
it was
remote.
just one remote. So we're just like
got
we're
to
sitting
share.
right next to each other, and I'm like, whatever I'm watching, you're watching, and vice versa. I won a lot of the time.
Yeah,
with
you did.
the channel picks. So Dean by proxy watches Bravo as well.
Yeah.
I know you
Not
keep up
ashamed.
with
Not
it.
ashamed. Not ashamed.
You like what? Summer House? You
Real
say
men
Summer
watch
House?
Bravo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you hear that?
Well,
Come
Real,
on now.
real
When you
men
say-
without man cards.
So like when you say you watch Bravo, is that like that's a channel, but like what are the shows? on it?
Everything.
I don't
Every
even know.
single
Like,
It's
I don't
like
know.
trash TV, Real Housewives,
Housewives,
Summer House,
Summer
The
House.
Valley. Like,
Valley.
If the Spurs aren't playing, then she gets the
Yeah.
remote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fair. That's
You
fair.
guys know
That's
what
a
I
good-
watch. I'm addicted to.
Oh,
TL.
Court TV.
Oh, and TLC.
Yeah, but I was just going to say,
and
I also
ID, right? The
watch a
crime-
lot of trash.
Yeah.
That's my guilty pleasure.
That-
But I am a court junkie.
I know you'll be out and you have
I mean,
your
it's-
earphones
yeah.
listening to like
What's-
verdicts.
It's on
Like
my
a trial.
iPad. It's
It's
on
so
my
crazy.
phone. It's in my car. I mean, I watch trials.
Doesn't it
all
freak you
day.
out? Because I feel like I would be so freaked out.
No,
Anxious.
Yeah.
I think I'm
She
excited
called me
about
the,
it.
you
Like,
called me the other day.
No,
When
you-
I get home,
Yeah,
I called
so-
her. She's like, I can't talk right now.
the verdict is in.
out.
Like the verdict
She's
is
hands
in
up.
on this trial I've been
So
watching for
funny.
2 months.
Maybe in another life
And
you
she-
were an attorney or
You know,
something.
I don't know.
No,
but
I go, Lisa, and she goes, no, I can't talk right now. I can't talk. The verdict's out. And she hangs out and says, I'm out of gas out here. And there's,
That's not important.
I have to walk home. I have to
They're
walk home.
hiring
Priorities.
those people who type in the courtroom.
Court
Yeah.
reporter.
They're
Like a
hiring
court
for-
reporter,
They pay
yeah,
good money.
well-
You should do that, and then you get to sit
you
in.
ask your
Like, I
daddy.
wanna
Ask
watch
your
it.
daddy if I can do that.
She won't be able to watch.
You won't be able to
stuff.
watch the other court cases.
No, but I won't be there to make lunch and
Oh.
all that.
I gotta
you
eat.
know.
I know.
What's been the most interesting case you've seen so like lately?
So lately, the one I'm really, really excited about is
A$AP Rocky?
Is,
Was
well,
it-
I
That
saw
already
A$AP
happened,
Rocky.
yeah.
I saw A$AP Rocky and Rihanna.
Yeah.
That one, I watched the entirety of that one. But I'm watching, right now, currently, I'm watching the Lori Vallow. She's from, it's Arizona, I believe.
Is she the
Anyway,
one
it's
who
a
killed her
cult mom.
boyfriend? Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's, oh my gosh, it's a whole, it's a lot.
Oh,
but anyway,
goodness.
but I'm looking forward to on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to Karen Reed trial. It's a retrial. The first one was an acquittal, and so
Karen
I'm
Reed's
excited.
the one that.
She supposedly ran over her.
Oh yeah,
Her boyfriend,
She
yeah,
backed
yeah, I
up. She
remember you
backed up
telling
to
me.
On
a
accident.
police officer.
Yeah.
She didn't mean it.
The
Actually,
car did it.
I,
She didn't do it.
I was at my hairdresser when I was at my hairdresser's, and I was talking to her about it one time, and there was another hairdresser there. She kind of overheard me, and she goes, "Oh my! I saw the documentary on HBO," and I said, "Because they have like she's talking a whole lot." So, but anyway, I said, "So what do you think?" She goes, "We thought total opposite of each other," and I find that really exciting because I want to know like
debating
why.
with people.
Because yeah, we but so coming into it on Tuesday, I've got my best friend. Well, two of my good best friends. We're all watching it, and we're on opposite sides.
Wow.
So we're excited, yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't listen to commentary because I mean, even like with boxing, I feel like, you know,
It
you
can
get
So you're like,
persuade.
so you're like a real juror.
I
then.
am.
Like you don't allow the
I'm a
outside
13th
noise.
juror.
Yeah, you don't allow the outside noise to
I
get to you.
don't listen. I go on YouTube, so I don't watch any commentary.
When did that start? OJ? The OJ trial?
It started since OJ. And remember what I did with the OJ Simpson tape? Remember?
Yeah, she taped
Oh
over
my
the.
God.
Was mine or Dean's?
I think it was Dean's
was me 'cause
birth.
it was
It was
95.
Dean's birth. I
about
had
that.
to go pick you up from school,
You taped over
and
his
you know
birthday?
those big ones,
No, his
those
birth.
big ones.
Oh, his birth.
And so I grabbed a tape, you know, because every time I would leave the home, I would, you know, record it.
Yeah.
So I grabbed that one and I stuck it in, and I came back to like look at it after I picked it up from like he was only going to Mother's Day out or pre-K or something, I can't remember. And I was like, oh my God, I put it in there and all I see is myself on the bed, like, you know, like I was
About
kind
to
of like,
push.
and then there's the Bronco.
There's
you
the
know?
Bronco coming out.
Then the Bronco goes by, and I'm
Bronco
like,
came
oh
out.
my God, I didn't tell you for the longest time. I think I waited like even over a year
Yikes.
before I told Daddy that I taped over the birth.
What do you watch? You watch a lot of news. Just have it on, right? Like,
Tell him the
I
truth.
watch sports.
No, well, not all the time.
Dallas
General Hospital.
Cowboys.
No.
General Hospital.
Oh,
Days of Our Lives.
Big Bang Theory. I watch Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch sports.
But you like old
News. I like
shows too.
news. Oh yeah.
that's what I said.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son. I still watch
That's
that
a great
sometimes.
That's
I don't know.
crazy. Like he watches a lot of. I can't.
Old
Yeah.
school stuff.
I don't think we watch shows together.
Back in
We
the
do
day.
movies.
We
though.
don't
We do
ever.
love
We
it.
don't ever.
We're
We're
never
never
in
in
the
the same room.
Yeah.
Because all
Ever.
the TVs are on court TV.
Yeah.
We can never agree on what to watch together. But there's one thing that we have been doing and we've been very consistent. It's watching like what are they like series, right? Not
So
not
like
shows,
you're
but
going through
movie
like the Rocky
series.
series. We're going like
Yeah.
the franchise movies.
Yeah, the
I
franchise.
remember
Yeah.
going with Daddy to the theater to watch Rocky. He took me. It was a date night. I remember.
Dang.
I know one of the Rockies.
What
It
was the
wasn't
movie
the
about?
first one. It was the first one. Yeah.
Joy Dread.
Yeah.
I didn't know how many times he said that in the franchise, and I've
I
seen
know.
it. You know?
Yeah.
But we've been seeing
And
that.
I got to meet Rocky. Oh, Sylvester.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Um,
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of that though, like just a bunch of movies. We went through Star Wars like in how many days?
like I don't know, four,
Like
something
4 or
like that.
5 days.
Right now we're watching Rudy. We're waking up every 2 hours, so like we're waking
Yeah,
up
we have
and
to
like
watch
we're just
something.
putting it on.
Perfect movie time.
Rudy
Yeah.
the movie. The
Yeah.
oh, that was a good
Rudy, like
one.
Notre
Yeah.
Dame and all that.
I mean,
I'm so
it's-
annoyed.
It is a
This
little
guy
bit
is
annoying.
like, if y'all haven't seen Rudy, like, have y'all seen Rudy?
Yeah.
I
So
mean, it's like borderline obsessive.
I'm like, it hurts my stomach to see this guy. He's so balls
You're
deep
invested.
into Notre
I mean,
Dame.
I admire his ambition, right? And his dedication, but I was just like thinking, oh my gosh, like,
This is weird. Yeah, I'm like, this is weird. Like, just move on. You know, like, I mean, I get it, but like, I get the passion behind it, like she was saying. But it was just kind of like this guy's going up to everybody saying how he's gonna.
Have y'all
It was
finished
either.
it?
I haven't finished yet. I haven't got to the point.
I won't
yet.
break it to you then.
But it's like, you know, this guy's going up to everybody
spoil it.
telling him what he's gonna do, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, this is either poor writing or this guy is like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not.
Based on a true story.
It's based on a
It
true story,
is.
but I'm like, this guy is. It's not like he just walked up to everybody and said, "Hey, I'm gonna play football at Notre Dame. Watch." And it's just like poor writing almost, right? And I'm just like, it makes my stomach hurt how over the top this guy is about that. You know what I mean? Like about this
He
football
probably said it
team.
once in his life.
Yeah, and they made a movie like on
I
it,
mean,
but he's
they-
saying it
yeah.
everywhere.
I don't know. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
James, I just want to say thank you for having us.
Oh yeah. Why we're finishing up now?
I thought you were.
No,
No? Oh, I didn't know
it's
that.
my time to talk.
I'm sorry.
We've gone on what
Go
y'all
ahead,
watch.
sorry.
We're on Rudy now.
Okay, okay.
Unless you guys somewhere
Well,
to go.
I don't want to forget to say thank you.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's us. I mean, it's our show. I think. You know what I mean?
Well, now
Hopefully
we know
they
where
bring
you
us
guys
back.
have been.
It's not
Yeah.
just
We
a
didn't know where you
one-time
guys
thing.
were.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, we're not just hiding out for the
Right.
hour
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
No, I do watch.
We always say we're going to the gym. Come over here.
Yeah, right. This is the
No.
getaway.
Hang out.
This is a nice place,
Mm.
actually. It's very nice.
Yeah, shout out TXI for putting it all together. You
Shout
know?
out to
It's very
Jason.
cozy in here.
Yeah. Well, we have to have y'all back. You know, whenever something goes on or
Yeah.
after our next
We
vacation
need
or
to do
whatever.
like a game next time.
Yeah, we were trying to come up with what we're gonna
We
do,
should
but
have the hot sauce eating right now.
James, I think you need
We
to
need
do
to buy a
that
chip.
that potato, that chip.
We need
Yeah.
to all do the chip.
Because I
I
don't think
would
there's
never do
Oh,
anything.
the hot chips.
I don't think there's
Come on.
anything hot enough for you, but that.
I watch
Oh, no.
Bravo. I can't do that.
that's funny.
You know, there was a time where he got really like sick, and it was when you first tried the bomb hot sauce, and it was because you loaded up your eggs with that
Yeah, I was
sauce.
telling them that.
Ooh.
And I was just remember thinking you were so like sick to your stomach because it was like
It wasn't hot.
it was
you
just
got
gross.
sick.
Yeah, like it was hot.
That's the whole thing. That's
he's
what
a
we're
head
saying.
sweater.
Yeah,
Like-
that's what we're saying. Like we win the battle, but lose the war. On those things, you know? So I don't know if the chips in order. Maybe, who knows?
I don't know. I hear the chips pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, we gotta do this. I mean, at least once every season. This is the second season of. This is our 13th episode, 10th episode in this, 11th episode in this season. So maybe once every season. You know, but we'll see how we get
some
on this.
updates.
Yeah. You know, or even like comments. See what people say about this or like little.
What kind
I
of
said,
content
forget
they
the
want.
boys. Keep the
I know,
girls
keep
on.
Yeah,
the
right.
girls.
It's gotta be ladies' night one
We
day.
could do a ladies' day
Ladies Lounge.
podcast.
Y'all did good though. Y'all
the
did better on
the
this than-
Leija Ladies Lounge.
Yeah.
I've never
I'll
done
talk about
anything like this
Bravo.
ever.
Hey, there's gonna be a lot of women tuning in.
But
Maybe
that's it too.
men.
Like,
Yeah.
get their opinion on what happened there. You know what I mean? Like, or I don't know, last week's episode.
As long as we have some rosé.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna bring
See,
some.
now I can drink
Just have
some.
a
Yeah.
chispa and just whatever.
Oh,
Y'all know
comes
me
out.
Oh,
very
the
man.
conversation will be different.
Be careful. I haven't had a chispa in over a year, so I might be
Yeah.
toppling over
Yeah,
here.
3 weeks.
3 weeks postpartum.
3 weeks postpartum. That's awesome.
3 weeks.
Good
Yeah.
game.
Thank you. I'm
that's
surprised. Like I bounced back quicker this time than I did with Vinay.
Yeah.
But I
We'll
feel
see you at the
good.
gym later.
I know, right? Oh, hey, next week's my last week being cooped up at home, so I'm excited. I'm ready to box.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I'm excited for everyone to see her because I know a lot of people have been wanting to see her and very curious.
Gotta like Mufasa it. when you
I
get
know.
Yeah.
She's so little too.
Yeah, she's
I'm
small.
waiting for her to like.
Grow up.
Yeah, for sure. She's filling out, but she's still real tiny.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's like a little football.
I know.
She's so
I
tiny.
know. She looks a lot like me. It's so weird.
Yeah, this one looks like.
See, I was so happy about that
Yeah.
because I think we were talking about this the entire time. I kept saying, I hope she looks like Anya because Vinay looks like James.
Oh yeah.
And just to see two
1000%.
girls, two different looking little girls,
know.
I just think it's great.
I know.
I think she is gonna look like you.
I think so too. Like my dad was telling me, she looks just like you. It's so weird, but she has his hair like
Oh, yeah.
dark,
Yeah.
dark, and he told me that his hair was really straight because mine was super curly. I mean, you saw Vinay's.
Yeah.
Vinay's was really curly when she was a baby, and so
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so weird because I never thought that she would look like me. I
And
swore
Renee's
up and
doing
down.
so good.
Oh,
she's a great big
she's
sister.
been great.
She's doing
honestly.
really well.
I mean, we're very, very fortunate. We have great kids.
Because you guys are really in tune with how she's feeling, which
Oh,
is really
yeah.
good. And I think
That's
I love
important.
that you remembered. Sometimes I say things and I don't know if you get it or not, or if it goes over your head. But I think I did mention to you, like, whenever, like, say Odette is crying, and then Vinay is like, "Daddy, Daddy," or "Mommy, Mommy," you go to the big one. Go to Vinay, because she's gonna remember you turned her away.
Yeah.
Odette's not gonna remember, and so it's good to turn to her as like, okay, what do you need?
Yeah. I think we haven't gotten to that
She'll
point where
remember that.
like the baby's been crying and we have to pick between
Yeah.
one or the other yet. Like
I mean, Odette's been
in that
so
moment,
good.
like,
She
we
doesn't
have-
hardly cry.
I know, like we haven't. I'm waiting for that time
Yeah.
to happen, but it hasn't. So, and I'm grateful because she is a great baby.
Yeah.
And
they're just watching everything. They're looking at everything, you guys.
They just borrow and give back.
Yeah. Like, we're gonna do this, but the good thing is y'all get to see, like, your friend Allie. She had her baby, and then Jewel's gonna be having one soon. So you guys get to be like the fun ones, and
aunties and
at least for
uncles.
now, just to like I
You'll
love
have
that you're
great
there for your friends
we get
too.
to hold them and then give them back.
I can't wait till you guys have your kids.
I know,
Because
it'll be
I'm
fun.
like so
be exciting.
curious to
either.
see like
What
who
do y'all
they'll
make?
look
What do
like.
y'all make?
You know what I mean?
You know.
You it's just like, and I hope I don't put any pressure on you, Dean, because I don't
But what?
like talking to you.
But
I don't.
hurry up.
Because it's kind of like for parents, I think it's kind of just a thing, or grandparents might bring it up, but yeah, I don't bring it up.
Yeah, I think we've
I
talked
love where
about
y'all
that.
are
We're
at.
just like
Yeah.
I try not to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, we're good.
Mm.
Just so
It's
we're
just
on the right
like
path.
this year has just
put it
been
to
like
bed.
babies.
Oh, I know. It's so crazy. Everybody was pregnant.
Yeah.
Like your friends, my friends. I just found out that my other friend is pregnant.
Another one.
Yeah. She got IVF and she
Something's in the water.
Good.
I'm telling
Mhm.
you. I
The
gave
San
her my
Antonio
water
tap.
and she drank it.
Well, it was a good episode. Success, I would say, right? Bringing in
It was fun.
bringing in the women.
Bosses.
Yeah.
The real bosses.
The real bosses,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, right. The ones that allow us to do all this. Our backbones, right? Number one supporters, first
That's
followers, right? And vice versa. Thanks for coming in, seeing what we do. We
you
come
for
and chop it
having
up.
us.
I would say y'all are always welcome. What do you think?
Oh, of course.
Always welcome?
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for watching this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode. This one was great. Let's see what we got in store. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you know someone that would like to be on our podcast, or maybe suggest somebody who we could, potentially go after to get on the podcast you want to hear from, leave us a comment. Share with somebody if you got anything out of this. Share with a friend. Share with a family member. I don't know, anything y'all want to say to end off? We're all family here, right? Like,
Yeah.
family first. Anything?
Just thank you for having us.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah. I'm proud of all of you.
Yeah.
Very proud.
Nice. We're proud
to be
too.
your wife, proud to be a part of his family. Proud
Ditto.
of what y'all are doing.
I love you all. Very blessed to be in this family and
Yeah.
have the love and support not only from my husband but from all of y'all.
Definitely.
Ditto.
See y'all next time, guys.